I really need help in math. I've been struggling all day. If only Math Man were here.
Are you ready for another day of e-learning?
Yes, Math Man!
Well then, to the Mathmobile! Me. Good morning, everybody. Sorry about the lateness of the video. We had technical difficulties. I had them all made, and I was trying to get it uploaded, but for some reason, yours wouldn't save, and in algebra, it only saved the first 7 minutes, and I didn't realize that, and we had that trouble on day one. And so, thank you to Mrs. Nyson for videotaping this, and so we can do it quick this way, but we'll reteach everything. So we'll just try to get this because my wife's arms are very tired after doing geometry and algebra. And so, but a couple things you'll notice, since we're finishing out the year with e-learning, we are going to do notes every day and homework. And so you don't, if you want to just watch the videos and then do homework on your own paper, that's okay. If you do have the opportunity to print them off and that helps you follow along, that's good too. Either way, the paper packets, if you needed those and you prefer to have those, then feel free to get those from the school. But I don't have all the new ones yet because we're still on the old ones. Since e-learning kind of stopped for a couple weeks and then we had spring break, you still have these papers and you have them for the entire week this week. So if you prefer to have a paper, we'll be able to get those from the school, but everybody needs them, already has this week's. Or you can just watch the videos and do it from there. That's fine too, or if you want your own notes. Okay? And so, a couple things. We are going to have warm-ups every week. Those are on Khan Academy. You have all week to do them. And since we already had week 28 logic problems, and you can take a picture of those and send them to me, we also will have warm-ups 28, and then this week warm-ups 29. So there's 6 things on Khan Academy you need to do. They're all just each 4 questions. You can do 1 a day. You can do 2 of them a day. And some of you did them over our little break, and so you already might have them all done. And so we'll give you credit for those. And I have new logic problems on the e-learning page. This is a contest we signed all of you up for. It's a new one since we aren't able to go to St. Mary's. This is a contest there's awards and medals and things for. And the real contest is going to be next week's logic problems. And you're going to get your own specific username and password. But this week is an old one that you're going to do. And the rule is you get 45 minutes to do 20 questions. Well, you can have as much time as you want. I don't care about that. But you're really not supposed to use a calculator. So practice not doing that because next week we won't be allowed to use a calculator. And so when you send your homework, some of you are taking pictures on a smartphone. That's great. And this, you usually get like this border and things. But some people have told me, and I have information on the e-learning page, there is an app for a smartphone that's free called Cam Scanner. And don't buy the premium version, but the free one. And what you can do is after you take a picture, the app allows you to cut all this out and to clean it up. And so when you send it to me, it's just like perfectly clean like a regular piece of paper. And so it's a lot easier to see and it's in focus and it doesn't have the shadows and things. So if you have the opportunity to do that, please look into that. It will help out a lot as we finish out the year with these 20 classes. Okay, so we'll have logic problems, we have warm-ups. Look into maybe trying to send these a better way, but this is fine. If this is what you can do, that's good. And also, we do have our next online math contest this week. I don't know the time yet. We're going against a school in Denver, and I've emailed their coach, and so hopefully we'll get a time sent out, and I will let you know when that's going to be. And we appreciate all of you that have been participating in that. And so that's going to continue. We're in the Sweet 16. We win this week, we go to the Elite 8. So everybody's doing a great job with that. So thank you again, Mrs. Nyson, for holding this. And her arms are getting tired, so we're going to go straight to the notes. And so today we're going to talk about the Pythagorean Theorem. The homework is on the page of the notes here, so you don't need to print them off. You can just use the thing. But this is notes number 112. And so the Pythagorean Theorem allows us to find the missing side of a right triangle. And so on the missing side of a right triangle, if you know 2 of the 3 sides, you can get the 3rd side. So in a right triangle, you have one right angle. And so get this off orange. Here we go. And here's the right angle. The side across from the right angle is always the longest side. The longest side is always across from the largest angle. And we call that the hypotenuse. Well, if you put the wrong emphasis on your syllables, otherwise it is the hypotenuse. And so the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. We always call that side C. The other two sides are called A and B. It doesn't really matter which one's which, but these are both called legs. The legs are the sides that make up the right angle. They're the ones that are perpendicular to each other. And the hypotenuse is across. So the Pythagorean theorem, as many of you already know, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Or as they say, the sum of the square of the legs equals the square of the hypotenuse. And it only works on right triangles. Okay? And so on your homework, we're going to show how to fill this in. And so on this, we'll skip right down to here. The first thing you're going to have to realize is where A, B, and C are. And so if I turn the triangles and try to trick you, you have to locate the right angle. And then where would the hypotenuse be? It would be across from the right angle. So that's my C, and then A and B can be either or, it doesn't matter. So if I spin it and try to trick you, the right angle's here. The largest side is always across from the largest angle. The smallest side is always across from the smallest angle. But so these are A and B. It doesn't really matter. A, B, B, A. It just matters where C is. If this is my right angle, the side across from it is the hypotenuse. And then the other two sides are A and B. So if, oh, say, can you see? If you can figure out where the C is, you're in good shape. Okay? And so here's a little mini proof of the Pythagorean theorem. If I have a triangle right here, boom, 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 and we call this A, and we call this B, and we call this C, then A's square, right here, if we paint it all in, I kind of was outside the square a little bit. And here's B's square. And then C square would be over here. Now some of you might have been helping mom and dad over these days, you know, painting, cleaning, fixing things up. And so if you're painting, while you're painting, you can be thinking deep mathematical thoughts. And the thing is, if we look at this, is there more red paint or blue paint? Because A times A, here's A's square. And here's B's square, B times B. And here's C square, C times C. Well, is there more red paint or blue paint? Well, they're equal, and you might need this for some of those contest answers. And the reason you know they're equal is you just count. Look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles here. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles here. And 4 plus 4 is 8. And that's how we know. This only proves it technically for an isosceles right triangle, but at least you get an idea. Begin to know that A's square plus B's square equals C's square. Okay? So that's a little mini proof, and it helps you with contests and things like that when they draw pictures. So tonight, you're going to show, you first have to figure out where is C. So where is C? Where is C? Here I am. Here I am. And so here's the right angle. Well, across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. And so when we set up this problem, it's going to be A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And we have 7 squared plus 24 squared equals x squared. And we're going to find that missing side. And so 7 squared is 49. 24 squared is not 48. It's 24 times 24, which is 576. And then we're going to add those together to equal 625. And then the question is, what do you square to get 625? Well, it's not half of it. You take the square root of each side. And sometimes your answers are whole numbers, like this one. The length of the side is 25. So the missing side of your right triangle is 25. And sometimes they end up being irrational. And today we are going to just do the decimal to the nearest tenth. So like here's my right angle. So where is C? Where is C? Here I am. Here I am. So there's C. So in this problem, you're going to do 5 squared plus 7 squared equals x squared. And this happens to be the very first problem on your homework. So all you're going to have to do is rewrite this for problem number 7. And so 5 squared is 25. 7 squared is 49. And you're going to show your work just like this. And so you get 25 plus 49 is 74. And 74 equals x squared. And then we're going to square root both sides. You don't have to break out of this joint and figure out. You can just type it in today. And the answer is 8.6, blah, 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 blah. But you can just round, not truncate, but round to the nearest tenth. And that would actually be 8.6. Okay? And then the last one. Here is the right angle. So where is C? Where is C? Here I am. So on this problem, we're not looking for C. We're not going to do 9 squared plus 41 squared equals x squared. We're actually going to do x squared because we're going to find a missing leg. We know that the answer is going to be smaller than 41. And so x squared plus 9 squared equals 41 squared. And so here, when we get x squared plus 81, and then 41 squared is not 82. It is 41 times 41, which is 1681. And then how do we solve this? X squared plus 81 equals 1681. If they add, we subtract. And so you are going to subtract 81 from both sides. And so x squared plus 81 minus 81 equals 1681 minus 81. And x squared equals 1600. And then do we take half of it? No, we square root it. And see, some of you won't remember to square root. And an easy way to remember is if this side was 9 and this side was 41, does it make any sense that this side is 1600? No, it does not make any sense that that side is 1600. But it would make sense that that side is 40. Because that's the square root of 1600 is 40. Okay? And so we have that. Okay? So for your homework tonight, I know the school says you have all week to do an assignment, but each day, Wednesday is going to build off to today, and Friday is going to build off on Wednesday. So you want to do them every day, just like we're going in regular school. And then try to send it to me. So for this problem, we've already done this one, problem 7. So you set up your paper, you go here, problem 7, you write down 5 squared plus 7 squared equals n squared. And you write down 25 plus 49 equals n squared. And then 74 equals n squared. And then we square root both sides. And we're going to get 8.6 equals n. And we want to see that. But remember, we're not always going to be adding. We're not always plugging in for a and b. In fact, we're going to start plugging in for like a and c or b and c because they're going to give us the hypotenuse. And we're going to plug in these two. And then we're going to have to subtract. And so let's look at a couple of the problems that we're going to have to find. See, like on this problem, we're finding C. Wherever this is. Here we go. In this problem, we're finding C. But in this problem, we're finding A. This answer is going to be less than 13. It's not going to be bigger than 13. Here, you're finding C. But here, this is my C. This answer is the hypotenuse. So we're going to find an answer that's less than 12, not an answer that's bigger than 12. And you will also notice that I am so kind to you, I haven't put the odd answers upside down in the corner so you can check them if you want to. And so when we look at this, the only question you might have is these last problems on the homework. Is the triangle with the given side lengths a right triangle, right? Yes or no? So this is what you do. You just say, is 5 squared plus 12 squared equal 13 squared? And you write that down. You don't just say yes or no, because you might think 5 squared is 10, when it's actually 25. And then you might think 12 squared is 24, when it's actually 144. And I don't know, I haven't been with you so long, you might think that 13 squared, that's a squared, is 26, when it's really 169. And then 24 plus 144 is 169. Then you're right, yes, because they're both equal. Problem 21, 1 squared plus 2 squared equals 3 squared. And you don't just write yes or no, because you might think 1 squared's 2. 1 squared's 1. 2 squared's 4. 3 squared's 9. Is that equal? No! Okay, and then you finish out that way. So, we look forward to seeing your homework. Sorry, this video is coming to you a little late. I already had it made. It was really good, too. And I didn't want to delete it. And my computer actually said it would take 8,372,000 hours to upload. And I have no idea why. And so we'll be working on that. And so a little frustration. But if you get frustrated with technology, your teachers are also. And we're just all doing the best we can. You'll be fine. Just please try to take time and get these assignments in. And so thank you. Email me and let me know how it's going. Okay, thanks. See you guys.